What happens when you take boats, the ever-increasing demands of customers, madness, and a strange, shadowy figure watching you from the corners? Well, besides regular retail work, you also get Sunken, a game about caring for aging boats for money. Welcome to day 4 of the Steam Next Fest, and today I decided to talk about Sunken, a game that caught my eye because I am a poser that doesn't read any Lovecraftian stories, but I do watch an unhealthy amount of Wendigoon. Published by Playway SA, a publisher primarily known for job sims, I guess that's kind of fair to say, and developed by a two-man team, Nomad Studio, Sunken is described as a Lovecraftian ship repair simulator. You've inherited a shipyard from your father who mysteriously disappeared, and it is your job to restore it by repairing the ships that come in. You must make your customers happy while dealing with the strange happenings of the town you find yourself in. So this caught my eye because of the concept. I didn't realize how much of a job simulator it was going to end up being and thought it was going to be more story driven, but I also thought Total Chaos was going to be an FPS, so maybe I'm just a bad judge of character when it comes to genre. I think I mentioned this way back when I first talked about Ferocious on day 1, but there's something wrong with my brain where I tend to like job games. Open world survival crafts are some of my favorites, but other types of games that involve caring for a shop or caring for an aging farm really scratch an itch that I can't describe. A friend of the channel, Anzu, who has done way more game development than I have, described them as spinning plate games. There's always something going on and you have to run between the various things that are happening while trying to keep the plates spinning. So, what are the spinning plates of Sunken? Well, the demo gives you a few things to do. The main goal of the game is to bring ships in. You receive a fax and that has some details about the ships. You can accept or decline it from there. They give vague reports about what shape the ship is in. When it pulls in, you choose from 6 tools, and I think we only end up using 5 in the demo. The first tool that you get access to, or that you get to use, I guess, is the garbage can, which of course you use to pick up garbage. When it's full, you throw it in the incinerator, because we don't care about our carbon footprint in Innsmouth, apparently. Also, I guess I should say it's not Innsmouth, it's a random town. Sometimes, iron railings need to be straightened out with a hammer. You also use that hammer as well as planks and nails to, well, repair planks on the ship. Your hands are used to replace light bulbs and technically the flags on the ship mast. The brush you use to scrub up all kinds of filth that you find on the ship. And the scraper you use to scrape off oysters, starfish, and barnacles as well as anything else that's stuck on the ship. However, that's where the second spinning plate comes from. Taking those oysters and starfish, you actually head out back and you put them into sorted bins. Every once in a while, a customer will come by and purchase them from your supplies. The way this minigame works is first you have to check the amount that the customer wants. You grab a box with empty hands, you fill up the box with the correct items, place the box on the table, accept their payment, then you have to divvy out change, kind of like Trading Card Shop Simulator, if you guys ever played that one. And then after that, the customers leave with their product. I really like the design of the money they use in this game, by the way. See, this is why I can't have a 3D printer. I do something dumb like print off stacks of that money that they use in Sunken. It just looks so cool to me. The third plate that you have to spin is when someone comes to the door and you open it up and you see what they want. That one's pretty easy to handle. And finally, one of the easier plates to spin is you have to go into town to pick up supplies. Boards, nails, lights, and flags. It looks like you can buy different paint as well as different decorations for your shop and things like that, as well as upgrades for your tools, but all of that was locked behind the demo. There are also a few things that are currently locked behind the demo that should be available in the game. One looks like you get to shuck oysters and that sort of thing, and the other happens to be fishing. Oh, there's also a few places in town that are locked behind the demo. Now, the storyline of the game is you come across the Necronomicon, or technically your dad does, and then it just kind of captures you as well. Your father is trapped within it, And now you have been cursed by the book and need to figure out how to escape said curse. After you escape from the first Necronomicon instance, you have to avoid this strange figure that lurks around your shop. He's like dressed in all black and has bright red eyes and a bowler cap. Literally at one point, he's just hanging around your shop, which is kind of goofy. But when you make eye contact with him, you go slightly insane, not completely insane, only slightly. And to reduce your sanity, I guess technically it's increasing your sanity. To increase your sanity, you have to smoke from your pipe. And like, honestly, at that point, the demo kind of felt like it was over, but it kept going on. I didn't know what to do after that. I kept making money, but there was no real money sink in the demo to just go spend this cash that I had on. Most everything that costs a lot of money is probably locked behind the upgrades that I can't purchase, so keep that in mind when the full game is out. I even let my madness meter go pretty high just to see what happens, but your screen kind of distorts and shakes a little bit, and that's about it. Finally, you get a strange request from a ship. When you accept it, you see it pull in, filled with eyes all over the hull. Then tentacles rise from the water and hug the ship, and the demo finally ends. Now, there are a few things that I would like to see in the game. For example, assigning tools to hotkeys would be really, really nice. Right now, you can only pull up the radial menu to see what tools you have and to select from them. Being able to have those assigned to the 1 through 6 keys would be like a huge improvement. Jumping also felt a bit weird in the game. For example, when I was pressed against a chair, I couldn't press the jump button. It seems like you need to have momentum built up to jump already, but that feels a bit odd, especially since you're only going to use jump to get over obstacles that you're stuck on in this game. It's a bit hard to show in video form because it looks like I just stopped walking randomly, but I'm trying to jump. I don't really even know if I have any clips of it because I stopped jumping really early on because of it. Finally, and this is a personal nitpick more than anything else, but it would be nice if I could assign sprint and crouch to the buttons on my mouse. I tend to use my forward and back buttons for crouch and sprint, but like I said, that's just a personal thing. Overall, it seems interesting, a really nice art style. I like the 2D figurines in a 3D environment. It's pretty cool. Man, I don't know, this feels like a really short review. What has it been, like even 5 minutes? I wonder if there's a second game I can play that reminds me of my horrors in retail. Oh, hey, wait, how about this one? Salvage Protocol. Monsters, space stations, crushing debt? Sure, I'll check it out. Salvage Protocol popped up as recommended when I went to the Steam Next Fest page. The algorithm knows me well, apparently. Developed and published by I Am Dirt and Diced Basilisk, it seems like a single-player version of Lethal Company, or at least partially inspired by it. If it's not, sorry guys, but that's just kind of what it feels like. Another game that was made by just 2 people, just like Sunken Engine. That's a weird coincidence. Starting out in the game, you awaken to a robot explaining that you are now in debt to the SRPO. I don't know what that means. Not only are you in debt though, but it's the largest debt ever to the SRPO. From there, you get on your ship. The game allows you to figure out where to go to collect scrap, and that's it. Very simple mission. Take your hammer, break stuff, collect the salvage, and then deposit it back in your ship. And I love it. The game is pretty fun. Your character moves at a really decent speed, and you really haul when you sprint, which of course you have stamina, but I'm sure we don't have to worry about running away from things. There's not a big explanation of what your items are used for. The hammer, of course, I already talked about it. It is used to break things and then get salvage from the broken things. I wasn't sure what your blowtorch was when I first saw it, but I took it out kind of in a panic, and I found out you can use it to break open locks, so that's cool. There's a flashlight, I guess that's important. Oh, and there's also a PDA, but I set that in my ship and left it there. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do with that. There are other tools that you can buy, like a black hole gun that destroys objects that are nearby, flashlights that you can strap to the sides of your head, a salvage sucker 5000 that sucks up all the salvage in front of you, and a power glove that will destroy objects really quickly as long as you charge it up first. You can also upgrade your statistics like health, stamina, and salvage container size. I chose a space station to land on and then was given a quick tutorial on how to break things and how to salvage them, and then was sent on my way with 20 minutes to get my salvage quota or be fired. Like I mentioned before, your character moves pretty fast, so it's quick and easy to get around. Getting the salvage I needed was actually pretty fun, and I was surprised by what you can break, including a corpse. Because of course you can come across a corpse and break it. I found it after dropping off some salvage and saw a little PDA near the corpse, so I figured I had to pick it up, but I couldn't. So then I started to hit the corpse with a hammer to see if I could get the PDA that way, and apparently I interrupted something's dinner. So whatever this creature is, it doesn't care about doors, which is just great when you're trying to run away from it, which means you have to stand and fight. This is when I found out what the blowtorch was and used it against the creature, and then started experimenting to figure out what I could use the blowtorch on, and realized I could use it on the locks, which is kind of a cool learning experience, honestly. Another thing to point out is I came across an energy pylon type thing. I'm not really sure what it was. However, I couldn't destroy it, but I could pick stuff up and throw it into the energy pylon, which immediately scrapped the items I threw in. Then, when another one of these weird creatures started to chase after me, I actually just used the energy pylon to kill it. I kited it around and made it jump through the energy pylon, and boom, it died. Really fast too. It does seem like you can hide and stealth around the monsters, but I wasn't aware of that, so I didn't try it in the demo. Oh, two other important things. One, you can sprint in all directions. I love games that give you omnidirectional sprinting because it feels great, you move fast, and it feels really, really good in this game. Second, you can find credit boxes laying around, and breaking them gives you credits directly. As long as you pick them up, I guess. Finishing the salvage quota gives you a little snack as a reward, and almost immediately the door closes on the ship and you blast off into orbit. I guess you can't hang around and get overtime. It is just like retail. And after checking out some of the shop stuff, I talked to the admin, who tells me that he's given me access to a seed bank, and the demo ends. Wait. By now? This is out? It was released in February? Well, I guess I know what I'm playing when the next fest is over. This is awesome. Well, those are my opinions on Sunken Engine and Salvage Protocol. Two games about having really awful jobs. Man, I do not miss my retail days, honestly. If you're out there doing a late shift or something, cheers from me. Do me a favor, like the video, comment, and if you are new here, go ahead and click that little subscribe button, especially if you liked my coverage. I will be back tomorrow with another Steam Next Fest review, so keep your eyes peeled, and I will see you guys then.